And we're starting this live stream, hopefully right on time. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for yet another lunch live stream today. I'm hanging out at home. For lunch today, I'm going to be eating some Hostess, what are these, iced cinnamon rolls. Oh yeah. Have some nice Hostess snacks, breakfast pastries for lunch. As per usual, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have myself something silly for lunch. Thank you guys, anyone who decides to hang out with me. It's always fun to catch up with you guys, see what's going on, make sure that I'm connecting with folks out there in the internet land. And I am having a lot of trouble opening this dang thing, so give me one moment, please. There we go. Oh my gosh. I cannot remember if I've ever had these things on the channel before, but they looked pretty good, so I thought I'd give them a shot. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. I hope you're sitting down, have something nice to snack on. Maybe you just wanted to hang out, see what's going on with me. And as always, if you guys do want to pipe up in the comments, I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Because it seems like the people who drop in on these live streams always have really interesting questions to talk about, stuff like that. Oh my gosh. Now before anything else, I want to make sure that I've got plenty of nutrition coming in. When you're working hard every day, working from home, really stressing yourself out, both mentally and physically, it's a good thing to keep your blood sugar up. Oh wow. Yeah, that is really, really good. I like that. Nice soft texture, good spice, really sweet. Yeah, I could see myself eating way too many of these things. I was always curious to know, like, do you think that cinnamon rolls are more of like a breakfast thing, or is it more of a dessert thing? I don't know, super sweet, pastry, filled with sugar, filled with butter, everything that's delicious. So I think it's kind of silly to like put it in just one camp or the other. In my opinion, cinnamon rolls are some of the best things out there, so why not have them at every single opportunity? Probably not as good. Well, definitely not as good as like a fresh cinnamon roll from a real bakery, but I do not mind these things at all. They are pretty dang good. So I know that, like, it is a pretty stressful time out there right now. I know that some people might be living with a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty of how things are going in the future. So, like, when people tune into this channel, my main thing is that I want people to, like, laugh and have a good time and enjoy themselves, really. So I think today is kind of like right down that alley, just, you know, hanging out, having some shenanigans go on. Nothing serious is going on today. Gonna make sure that it's a nice and light topic today. That is for dang sure. So I'm gonna get this thing out of the way because it's like right in the way of my mouse. Lots of reading going on today on my monitor, so got my reading glasses nice and ready. There we go. Look like a nice bookish nerd, bookish, like a real bookworm with these very nifty glasses on. I don't have much of a prescription, but it does make things a little bit easier when I'm staring at monitors and small texts all day. All right, so I came across this website article, which is completely bananas, when I was watching a YouTube channel called The Game Grumps, which is all about two, you know, comedic individuals playing video games. And they brought out, and they're always like, there's some good banter back and forth between the two guys where they're always talking about like silly things. And this internet article came up, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. The title of this article is "The Rumor Come Out, Does Bruno Mars is Gay?" Oh my gosh. Very short article on this Bruno Mars fan site. I just thought it would be fun to read through this entire thing for you guys so that you can get the inside scoop. So this was written 6 years ago. Clearly, this is somebody whose second language is English. This is not somebody who's probably a native speaker, but this is written in English, so there you go. All right. Bruno Mars is gay is the most discussed in the media in the few years ago. Even it has happened in 2012, but some of the public still curious about what is exactly happening, and to be the reason there is a rumor comes out about his gay. At that time, he became the massive social networking rumor. Oh my god, this thing is amazing. The public, especially his fans, are shocked. He just came out with his bad rumor, which is spread massively. This time is not about his music career, but his bad rumor. The rumor is out standardized of hoax. According the last reported, this singer revealed himself as homosexual. Do you still believe or not? This rumor is really much talked by people, even in person, of his fans. Definitely got some hard-hitting journalism right there, guys. That's pretty incredible. So this is an article that's been around the internet for several years, and I think the Game Grumps guys actually were the ones who like made it popular. I was poking around this website, and it's hard to tell if like this is a hoax website or if these guys are really earnest about it. But apparently, this is just a fan website for Bruno Mars. So this is an unofficial fan website. This is not affiliated with Bruno Mars, his management, etc., etc., etc. All content published is the sole property holds the respective copyrights and are taken from sources made available to the public. And you can find plenty of incredible articles about Bruno Mars. I think they're all about the same quality as that first one that they wrote. Let's see. Bruno Mars's music life rejected by music producer. Bruno Mars's music life not always runs smoothly. As the term that says life is never flat, Bruno also experienced it. As the successful singer and songwriter as well, he has to pass the difficult time of his music career. Looking at his success now, there is no one thinks that he has several times of rejection. Pardon me, guys. This is very serious. Oh my god. All right. This is very serious stuff. Let's see. He is not the singer who just made Instantly, but he begins his career from zero to hero, from nothing to something. Some music producers who are offered to hear his son just said that his music, that must be his song, just said that his music is bad and lack taste in music. Oh, this stuff is incredible. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is the kind of thing that you find on like the English page on Reddit or something like that. Looks like we got a couple of folks popping up in the chat, so thank you guys for joining. Fabian says, "Hey Steve, how are you, buddy? How's life and work?" Life and work is, I'm getting paid to do my thing. Yeah, of course it's super hard, but we're making things work. So, None says, "Wouldn't surprise me if some machine learning AI wrote these sorts of things. Then the blog owner just cashes in on the ad revenue." I don't know, man. I mean, you can see that over time these things become like, let's see, on this website, actually, the articles, first of all, they came like fast and furious when it looks like this thing was first put up, and then they eventually like slowed down quite a bit to, where they've got like one a year for the last couple of years. Like I have to assume that this was written by an individual, but I do absolutely know what you're talking about with like AI generated stuff. I mean, I've read some of those AI generated articles. They tend to, I think some of the like machine learning AI generated articles and writing out there is very specific. Like sometimes you can kind of tell that it's written by somebody who's not human. But yeah, I think this is just somebody whose second language must be English. On the other hand, very well could be just an AI writer writing some random stuff. It would be kind of funny if this website was like somebody like working on an artificial intelligence and machine learning project, and just over the years they like iterated on it, and it eventually became something like better and better over time. That would be kind of funny, but I don't know. This thing is also 6 years old, so I don't know if AI and machine learning were really a thing back then. All right, moving on to some more food-related news, because why the heck not? Everybody's here to talk about food, see me eat food, stuff like that. This wonderful article says, nutritionists admit you can just eat hot dogs and live like that for basically decades. So in Denver, conceding that people can, in fact, survive indefinitely on a daily diet consisting solely of ballpark franks. Top nutritionists admitted Wednesday that you could just eat hot dogs and live for basically decades. We put a lot of work into formulating dietary guidelines based on the discoveries and advancement in the field of food science, but honestly, if you just ate wieners 3 times a day every day, you'd be okay, says nutritionist Allison Lawler. Noting begrudgingly that a supermarket frankfurter contains sufficient protein, carbohydrates, and minerals to sustain an average human being well into their 80s. You won't be healthy per se, but you'd last on hot dogs for years and years. You wouldn't feel great. You'd be a bit weak and tired, but that's about it. And you'd most likely be reasonably happy because, hey, hot dogs are pretty great. Now, by no means are we recommending that you stock your pantry full of hot dogs, but we have to admit that wouldn't be the end of the world. At press time, the nutritionists were not available for further comment as they had all gone out for hot dogs. Honestly, like this is obviously the Onion satire news site, so none of this should be taken seriously. But like honestly, this kind of sounds like it probably has about as much credence as a lot of dietary science that's come out in the last couple of decades. Like so much dietary science is just nonsense. It's really just like, what does the government want people to buy? What kind of, what lobbying groups are paying the scientists today? I will say that if you look at hot dogs, okay, so first of all, they don't contain any carbs, and they actually have very little protein. I mean, they're mostly just like salt and fat, and that's about it. So, and goodness knows that I know that because I have eaten way too many hot dogs. Like, hot dogs are so bad. I don't know, guys. They're so unpleasurable to eat. The only times that I ever eat hot dogs is number 1 in competition and number 2 when I'm preparing for competition. I would much prefer a mono diet of something like, I don't know, bananas or potatoes or anything else other than hot dogs. But hey, if nutrition scientists say it's okay, then it must be okay, right? Yeah, of course. Now, the third and final website where I get all of my fake news from is the Babylon Bee, another super funny website if you guys aren't familiar with it. I think that most people know the Onion, but more people should read the Babylon Bee. It is absolutely hilarious. The Babylon Bee is the quote-unquote, again, it's another satire website, but it's a quote-unquote like Christian news satire website. Lots of hilarious stuff. I just loved this article. As unfortunately, like even though it is satire, it's supposed to be fake. Like it kind of rings true. I gotta say, like my brother is I have an older brother who's definitely a Gen Xer, and he is like the quintessential like Gen Xer. Just like, don't bother me. What are you guys talking about? Just calm down, kind of guy. So this website, Gen Xers decide to split off from the rest of society and form a utopia that's all relaxed and cool and, whatever. Oh my God. If the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone or what were they calling it? Capitol Hill Occupied Protest or whatever it was in Seattle. I think that if it was run by Gen Xers, it probably would have lasted a little bit longer than the 6 days or however long it did last. Okay, so let's check this out. U.S. Generation X has finally had enough. The long-suffering generation has always been stuck between the boomers who ruined everything and the awful self-centered millennials, like me. And now they're also being plagued by the cancel culture-loving Gen Z proto-Nazis. Oh my God, I missed that line when I first read through. That is... Holy crap. Oh my God, proto-Nazis. That's so terrible. I gotta gather myself. Let's see if I can get through the rest of this. Okay, here we go, guys. So, Gen X has finally decided to do the sensible thing and split off from the rest of society and make a utopia that will be all relaxed and chill and not get worked up over everything. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. So I said, hey guys, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but want to make your own country? Said Spencer Goodman, one of the organizers. And all the other Gen Xers just kind of shrugged and said, whatever, which is exactly the kind of energy we want. I love this nation. This sounds like an excellent place to live. Oh my gosh. In this new nation, in the Midwest or wherever they can find some land, only people from Generation X will be allowed. There will be no more screaming about daily outrages, as everyone is just going to be chill and maybe listen to some maybe listen to some Nirvana while they quote unquote do their jobs or whatever. I love this. As the ideology of the new country, they say any politics are fine as long as quote unquote no one gets all worked up about it. This relaxed utopia is already said to be 1,000,000 times better than the constant shrieking of regular society. The inhabitants describe themselves as, it's okay. Even though it is satire, it sounds so nice. It's the kind of place that I might want to hang out. Unfortunately, I was born in 1987, so that means that I'm technically a millennial. I don't think that I am much of a millennial. I think that I'm much more of a Gen X individual. I probably have much more of a Gen X personality, but I guess I'm not allowed. Dang, next time. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it is nice to just take a break from actual society and just do something silly like this. Let me see here. Another one from the Babylon Bee that I pulled up. Again, this is a food article, so it seemed appropriate. This is the last one that I wanted to read today. This is a small island of uncultured savages rejects America's gracious attempt to introduce them to good food. Let's see if you guys can spot the joke throughout this article. Okay, so we have a small uncultured island in the Atlantic. A previously unexplored small island of uncultured savages in the Atlantic has rejected American missionaries' attempts to introduce them to good food. Missionaries attempted to build a Chick-fil-A in the unfriendly wildlands of the island, but the savages protested and chased them off with pointy objects, which were then confiscated by what seemed to be some sort of primitive police force. We attempted to make contact with the locals, putting out Chick-fil-A sandwiches on the ground and gesturing them towards them, saying, "You eat good food," said one missionary. Sadly, they just threw bricks at us and called us hateful. The natives then went back to eating a pie with fish heads sticking out of it, a barbaric dish they somehow think of as food. Oh, that's wonderful. The uncivilized brutes have not experienced cultured food before, and as such, eat things like mince pies, jellied eels, and black pudding. Their best dish, fish and chips, is just fish and fries, but the poor savages don't know that these chips are actually called fries. Chick-fil-A missionaries attempted to communicate with them, pointing at the waffle fries, saying, "Fries," slowly. But the natives simply looked on in confusion and said, "No, mate, those are chips." That was kind of an Australian accent. Says, "No, mate, those are chips." Which roughly translates to, "I am an uncultured swine." Oh my god. The savages also sadly cannot spell, adding "you" to a bunch of words. Chick-fil-A aid workers said that though they were chased off, they are still praying for the conversion of the natives and say it is their pleasure to spread the gospel of normal human food to the unreached peoples, no matter the personal cost. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Yeah, when I need a break from actual news and reality, it's always fun to look at those kinds of things. Especially in this day and age, where it's so easy to try to be informed about every single minutia that is happening across the entire world. You really do need to do yourself a favor and give yourself a break from that kind of stuff every now and then. It is really, it is a little bit strange that as a grown-up, I feel like I have to go out of my way to do silly things and to be bored and to avoid constant stimulation from the news cycle and everything along those lines. But it's just kind of what the reality is nowadays. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me for lunch. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that it was... oh my gosh. Just some silly shenanigans out there. I hope that putting this stuff out there is helping the world somehow in some way, in whatever little way that I can, by just putting some fun silliness out there. I hope you guys got a kick out of it. And until next time, I'll be back on today is Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday afternoon for another lunchtime live stream. So until then, you guys have a good one. And now I'm going to eat some more cinnamon rolls.